December 18th, 2024. Daily Bread. Passage: Ezekiel chapter 46, verse 1 to verse 18. Key verse 1. Title: Worship the Lord. This is what the Sovereign Lord says. The gate of the inner court, facing east, is to be shut on the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath day and on the day of the new moon, it is to be opened. The prince is to enter from the outside through the portico of the gateway and stand by the gatepost. The priests are to sacrifice his burnt offering and his fellowship offerings. He is to bow down in worship at the threshold of the gateway and then go out. But the gates will not be shut until evening. On the Sabbaths and new moons, the people of the land are to worship in the presence of the Lord at the entrance of that gateway. The burnt offering the prince brings to the Lord on the Sabbath day is to be 6 male lambs and a ram, all without defect. The grain offering given with the ram is to be an ephah, and the grain offering with the lambs is to be as much as he pleases, along with a hin of olive oil for each ephah. On the day of the new moon, he is to offer a young bull, 6 lambs, and a ram, all without defect. He is to provide as a grain offering 1 ephah with the bull, 1 ephah with the ram, and with the lambs as much as he wants to give, along with a hin of oil for each ephah. When the prince enters, he is to go in through the portico of the gateway, and he is to come out the same way. When the people of the land come before the Lord at the appointed festivals, whoever enters by the north gate to worship is to go out the south gate, and whoever enters by the south gate is to go out the north gate. No one is to return through the gates by which they entered, but each is to go out the opposite gate. The prince is to be among them, going in when they go in, and going out when they go out. At the feast and the appointed festivals, the grain offering is to be an ephah with a bull, an ephah with a ram, and with the lambs as much as he pleases, along with a hin of oil for each ephah. When the prince provides a free will offering to the Lord, whether a burnt offering or fellowship offering, the gate facing east is to be opened for him. He shall offer his burnt offering or his fellowship offerings as he does on the Sabbath day. Then he shall go out, and after he has gone out, the gate will be shut. Every day you are to provide a year-old lamb, without defect, for a burnt offering to the Lord. Morning by morning you shall provide it. You are also to provide with it, morning by morning, a grain offering, consisting of 1/6 of an ephah, with 1/3 of a hin of oil, to moisten the flour. The presenting of this grain offering to the Lord is a lasting ordinance. So the lamb and the grain offering and the oil shall be provided morning by morning for a regular burnt offering. This is what the Sovereign Lord says. If the prince makes a gift from his inheritance to one of his sons, it will also belong to his descendants. It is to be their property by inheritance. If, however, he makes a gift from his inheritance to one of his servants, the servant may keep it until the year of freedom. Then it will revert to the prince. His inheritance belongs to his sons only. It is theirs. The prince must not take any of the inheritance of the people, driving them off their property. He is to give his sons their inheritance out of his own property, so that not one of my people will be separated from their property. Daily Bread Message. Verse 1 commands that on 6 days the gate to the inner courts should be closed, but on the Sabbath day it should be open. This reflects Genesis chapter 2, verse 2, when God finished his work in 6 days, rested on the 7th day, and blessed the Sabbath day, and made it holy. The 4th commandment of the 10 commandments also orders us to remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. This is a testing stone of our faith. In the holy city, The Sabbath is to be honored absolutely. Are you keeping the Sabbath holy to God? The prince would lead the worship in the inner courts. He would stand at the gatepost and offer fellowship offerings. The priest would perform the sacrifices, and the people would worship with grain offerings in gratitude for all God's provisions. The prince would make costly sacrifices to honor God. This vision portrays the order, unity, and devotion of perfect corporate worship. This heavenly church is a great and beautiful hope for all creation. Prayer. Father, thank you for giving us real hope to be a community that worships you perfectly with gratitude. One word. Worship the Lord.